What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another page of the playbook going into week 12 of the NFL season, coming off of another strong week of picks for your boy, ladies and gentlemen. 4 straight weeks with 9 wins. I mean, I'm back. I'm all the way back. Miami Dolphins are all the way back. The claims have come back, confirmed from the We Are Back department. Yes, we have filed claims. You know who's here. We got Opal. We got Cephs. We got Bob. How are we doing, fellas? Addison, your name makes me sad.
Yeah, heartbreaking. I mean, obviously with the Bears hat on my head, watching the pod, big Bears fan, and what an absolute heartbreaking way to lose to Green Bay Packers. And Matt Eberflus, another coaching blunder. Could have been Caleb Williams 1-0 against the Green Bay Packers. I said on the pod last week how much that would flip the script, the narrative on the Bears, maybe even Eberflus as a coach. Instead, we get another loss in a game they should have won. I'm glad Thomas Brown called a good game and the offense looked good. So that's where we're at now. Is Thomas Brown auditioning for a coaching job somewhere, maybe even in Chicago? Who knows? Let's just keep the offense rolling. I'm literally so heartbroken. I just want to go on. Like, let's just move on. We'll talk about him more, I'm sure.
Okay. Bobby, Anthony Richardson stepping back in there, getting back on the saddle, looking damn good against the Jets, who I will refrain from talking about too much today as best as I can. But big win for Rich and the Colts, Bob. How are you feeling? 5 is free.
Sure. Yeah, he is. Free 5, baby. 5 is finally free. I will say Jets are a terrible team, but they do have a decent pass defense. So I think at the time we played them, they were second or third in the league. So but no, that's the Richardson I'm hoping to see. I think Shane finally called a better game, actually got him in the game early with some run plays. We finally ran a little bit more. The style of offense that I think we should have ran all year. Just quit worrying about getting him hurt. I know Dan Campbell even mentioned it, but good to see. I don't think he's going to go play that well the rest of this, every single game the rest of the season, but scoring twice when you're down in the fourth quarter is definitely a good thing to see. So
absolutely. Oh yeah, and you'd love to see that. And
yeah,
I mean, a lot of backlash coming at Pat McAfee these last couple of days. It's a bunch of craziness. It's a whole circus.
Yeah, McAfee's a dick. I mean,
yeah.
To a Colts,
He's a punter on a team and thinks he's some big integral part of the team, bro. You're a punter. He was a good punter, but
yeah, I mean, he's a good punter. But at the end of the day, it's like you had prime Peyton Manning for your career. No shocker that you guys won a bunch of division titles. Like, that is impressive. Don't get me wrong.
Also,
how much did you influence that? Probably a little bit.
And he just can't admit he's wrong, baby. Hey,
no.
AR over Flacco. I've been trying to tell people.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. Oh, well. Colin, my question for you. Actually, I've got a lot of questions for you. I've got a handful of questions for you. First of all, how bad is Trey Lance look in practice that he can't get a single game rep? How bad is he looking in practice? I mean, what are we doing? Cooper Rush is clearly not the guy.
Yeah, that's a waste of a 4th round trade there. I mean, you're not even going to give him more game reps and see what he has in the tank. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this season's already in the mud. So it's just like, how much worse can it get? Is kind of at the stage we're at here. And I don't know. We'll see. They gave me a little bit of life this week, though. They fought for a little bit, but ultimately they gave in.
Yep. Well, you should have known Mixon was going to go off because I was playing you in fantasy, and every single year I have one player get 3 touchdowns against you when we play. Every year it happens.
He went ballistic. What a trade for them this offseason. I think they gave up like a 7th round pick for Joe Mixon. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty damn good.
Great pick. Great pick up there. Last week, overall, solid-ish week, up and down for sure. I took the first place last week, 9-5. Colin, second place last week, 8-6. Really strong start. Struggled towards the bottom of the board though. Mm-hmm. Like you were like 7-2, and I was like, oh my god, he had a crazy week, and then you just started stacking some losses. I was like, falling off there. Addison 6-8 last week. Bobby 5-9, and Sage 4-10. So close to the TikTok dance.
That's rough.
That was so close. Addison, you do still have, prior to Thursday night's game, a 1-game lead. Now, obviously, we are recording this Friday, just after the Browns-Steelers game, which will be reflected in our power rankings as well. But we, at this exact moment in time, have a tie for first place between Colin and Addison. It is on, folks. The battle is on.
Getting tight.
Yep, I'm only a couple games back of Bobby for third place. It's a battle, and then Sage is going to slowly slip away into the abyss. I just know it. Colin, locks. 1-2 last week. A couple of money line sellers, man. Bengals selling it, fighting all the way back, down huge, all the way back just to lose it. And then the Jets just sell you. I mean, you bet on the Jets money line, brother.
Yeah, I mean, betting on the Jets, I'll own that one, you know. But that Cincinnati game, I mean, they just looked so bad in that first half, and then so I just wrote it off. You know what? It's over. 1-2 week, and then all of a sudden it's tied, and they have a field goal chance to take the lead, multiple field goal chances to take the lead. I'm like, oh man, I might sneak a lucky one out here, but it is what it is.
Hey, still 22-11 on the year. I mean, we'll take that.
That's damn
Absolutely.
We will take that. And Addison, an outrageous take hit. You just love to see these because if you told me 3 years ago, 2 years ago even, oh, Justin Tucker's going to miss a bunch of field goals, cost the Ravens the game. Sure as shit, he did it. 1 for 3, and the Ravens lose. I mean, that's money.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Tucker, I saw a video on social media, and might not all be Justin Tucker's fault. There's a new long snapper, new holder. Some of the placements might be bad, but all of his kicks are missing to the left, so clearly something's going on. But yeah, missing 2 big field goals in a game where that would have won them the football game. I'll take that one as a hit, but at the same time, I feel like maybe I jinxed my Bears by talking shit about the Ravens kicker because the Bears lost on a blocked field goal. So I don't know. Maybe I'm glad I hit that, but maybe I shouldn't have said jack shit. But yeah, kickers all around the league. I mean, we'll go back to Colin, one of his locks, the Bengals. Evan McPherson, man. The players in the locker room have turned quickly because you've been paid big bucks, and all of a sudden, I mean, you just straight up suck this season.
Yeah.
And the Bengals are not a good team, and any loss that they can point fingers at a kicker, they're going to. And that's tough, especially after you've been paid. So who knows? I mean, if he doesn't figure it out, I can see him getting cut just because that's how it rolls with kickers.
Yep.
But yeah, kickers all around this league had a bad week and have had a bad year so far.
Agreed. And I will say on the whole, like the whole process, like the whole thing of a kick is so important for kickers. Like it's the only reason why Jake Bailey has a job in the NFL and the Dolphins is because Jason Sanders, it works for him. However,
Yep.
Jake Bailey holds the ball. It works for him. He likes how he holds his balls. I don't know. The previous punter, he didn't like how he held them. And he missed a bunch of kicks.
Yeah.
Tucker's got to talk to this guy about how he's holding his balls, and they got to figure it out, man. Got to
Hey,
figure
yo,
that
but
out.
it's so true though, because I mean, it's crazy. That's why some teams, keep maybe a punter around when you're like, why are we keeping this guy? He's not the best punter, but if the relationship is there with the kicker, maybe they will stick around a year or two more, and maybe clearly things have changed on Baltimore, and he's struggling right now.
Yeah, agreed. All right, moving on into power rankings brought to you by Goldfine and Bulls. Injured at work, feeling powerless in your current situation? Give the attorneys at Goldfine and Bulls a phone call. Workers' compensation, personal injury attorneys serving the greater central Illinois area. These guys are the best in the business, and they will get you every single dime that you deserve. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Thank you, Goldfine and Bulls, for sponsoring today's Power Rankings. Bobby, I'm going to start with you. What you got for us in this week's edition of Power Rankings?
I guess is this pre or post Thursday night game?
Oh, fair. We wrote these down pre-Thursday night, and obviously it matters because a team we're all going to have in here just lost. So
Okay,
let's
fair.
do it as if Thursday night hasn't happened yet,
Okay.
knowing that it has.
Yeah.
I think most, if not all of us, should have the consensus 1 and 2. I got Lions, Chiefs. Lions, I don't really think much needs to be said. Same with the Chiefs, like going to be a contender no matter what. I got Buffalo at 3. I think Jalen looked really, really good for him. I still do have Philly at 4. I think that offense is extremely potent. I know Smith's out this week, I think I saw, but like what they have on offense, their linebackers have started to play a little bit better this year too, along with their young corners kind of coming on late. And then I did have the Steelers at 5. I still love that defense. And I think, hopefully in good weather conditions, Russ can at least generate a little bit more offense for him. And I still believe Mike Tomlin's a good head coach, even though people want him fired because they think never going below 500 is bad somehow. Honorable mention, I still have the Vikings here too. I'm not completely out on him. I love Flores, what he's done with the defense. I think Darnold's last week had a little bit better week. I know he's had some rough patches, but I think KOC is really able to keep things going there. So that's my honorable mention as the Vikings, but that's my rankings for the week.
Okay.
So
I like it. Yeah, I think you're pretty spot on, honestly. I'm right there with you. Like mine are the exact same as yours for the most part. Lions won because how can they not be? I mean, they
Right.
beat the Jags 52-6. Part of me thinks that was Ben Johnson like showing the Jaguars owner, hey, you guys should probably hire me this offseason when I'm available. I'll take Trevor Lawrence. I'll figure this out for you because the Lions just want to embarrass people. Like we're going to continue to play golf, even though, and we're going to throw the ball up 40 points. We don't care. We're here to hurt you. It's crazy what they're doing to teams. Kansas City, I did keep them at 2 like you did, Bobby. Yes, I know they just lost to the Bills. Guess what? They lose it to the Bills in the regular season. Talk to me in the playoffs. Talk to me in the playoffs, Buffalo. Who I do have at number 3. Josh Allen is a freak. And I did pick him to win MVP this year. And that looks pretty good. I'm back. Okay. Woo-wee. Thought you lost me for a second. Allen for MVP is alive and well. So I'm going fast now. 4, Eagles. Still like what Bobby said. I like what I'm seeing in Philly. Defense is playing well. Linebackers are playing good ball. What?
You're good. You're good.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. You're
okay,
good.
I was tweaking. All right. Pittsburgh at 5 prior to the loss to the Browns. Sadly, I mean, a good win against the Ravens. When you beat the Ravens without scoring a touchdown, that's very impressive. Although, how do you not score a touchdown against that defense? Also a little bit concerning. And then number 6, I went back and forth between the Vikings and ultimately settled on the Los Angeles Chargers.
You might be gone after that one.
Bought in. Those
Bye,
players
Nate.
have bought in. I'm back. Oh my God. Okay. Chargers at 6. Move on. Addison, hit us.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to start out with my number 1, and it's different than both these guys before. I'm going to keep the Kansas City Chiefs as my number 1 team in the power rankings. I know they did lose to the Buffalo Bills, but back against the wall, you're giving me Patrick Mahomes. I'm taking him as the number 1 team. It took Josh Allen on a 4th and 2 superhuman run, 26-yard touchdown, just to make the Chiefs have no opportunity. If they had been given a chance, coulda, woulda, shoulda. But you obviously like to think the Chiefs could have got it done. I'm going to keep them at 1. Even though my number 2 team, the Detroit Lions, I mean, it's neck and neck. They're 1A and 1A of this league. Most likely the Super Bowl matchup. Ben Johnson has the offense cooking, and Aiden Hutchinson loss is big, but you haven't even really noticed it. So those are my number 1 and 2. Number 3, I've got the Buffalo Bills. Obviously a massive win against the Kansas City Chiefs, but Nate, you said it. They get it done in the regular season when it does not matter. This is the Super Bowl for the Buffalo Bills. They love to see the Chiefs in the regular season when they get it done, but when the lights shine the brightest, they can't get it done. So, but I'm going to keep the Bills at 3. Number 4, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers here. Obviously, beating the Ravens is huge. The game against the Browns, yes, it's a tough loss, but it's a division opponent, and it was weird weather in the second half. There were some mistakes, 2 4th downs they didn't convert. But at the end of the day, I would have kept them in my power rankings even with the loss if this was post-Thursday. It's a tough division game after playing the Ravens. I had them at 4 pre-Thursday in my power rankings. Number 5 is Philly. We pretty much all talk about their offense, but I really like how their defense has played of late. I think they've actually gelled a little bit with Fangio off of some turmoil early in the season. They figured things out. The younger guys in the secondary with more reps are starting to play better, and that just is good for Philly because if their offense figures it out, plays well, and they have a good defense, they're going to be a team to compete in the NFC. And then my honorable mention, Nate, I'm with you. Give me those Los Angeles Harbaughs. He's completely changed the culture. This Chargers team was in complete turmoil. I mean, there was speculation. Do you blow it up? Do you trade Justin Herbert? Because what do? You got no cap space. You got old roster. Well, you bring in a winner, a guy that gets everyone riled up, everyone behind him. I mean, I know it's dumb, but the relationship between Herbert and Harbaugh is elite already. This is 1 season in. He believes in his quarterback like no other coach in this league. I mean, beast. He's beast. It's just I get the clip, but it is good to see when a coach believes in his guy that much. It's completely flipped the culture. So I'm going to have my Chargers, not mine, but the Los Angeles Harbaughs do love Harbaugh as my honorable mention.
Okay. I like it. Colin, bring us home.
I'll say they're my Chargers, darn it.
Yeah, they are your Chargers. That
true.
is true.
Well, I'll make it quick and sweet here. If you miss Nate's choppiness during his power rankings, it'll be real easy to follow along with mine because I actually have the same 6 in the exact same 6 order. I like that I was a couple of weeks ahead of the curve here on Detroit being number 1. I mean, you talk about Goff. I think they scored 7 touchdowns in their first 7 drives. You talk about Amon-Ra touchdown, Jameson Williams touchdown, Sam Laporta's out. Guess what? Brock Wright touchdown, Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown, David Montgomery touchdown. All those weapons on offense, haven't even mentioned one of their offensive linemen. And that might be the best part of their offense, and that's crazy. Number 2, Kansas City. Tough loss, but hey, you can't knock a team that's, 9-1 now?
Yeah.
For a road loss at Buffalo, competitive late. And you guys said it. I mean, it's the regular season Bills over the Chiefs. However, I did like the fact that it does keep the 1 seed in play for a couple more weeks here, because they do ultimately have that tiebreaker at the end of the season if somehow the Chiefs do drop another game or two. Number 3, I don't know if I already transitioned from Kansas City to Buffalo, but Buffalo is number 3. Real quick, going Philly, number 4. They just continue to win regardless of who they have in front of them, and they look impressive. Addison, you mentioned their defense. Their offense is starting to come around as well. Number 5, obviously pre-Thursday night. I might have dropped them out if we're doing this post-Thursday night, but I have the Pittsburgh Steelers at 5 here. Mike Tomlin's inevitable. Chalk it up to a weird Thursday night short week division game on the road and what they're calling the snow globe game.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys have seen that, just snow flying.
that's
Really
really
cool for the fans sticking around. I don't think anybody left the stadium. They kept saying during the broadcast, really cool to watch on TV. And then at 6, the Chargers scared me a little bit in the second half, because that offense, you couldn't stop that offense in the first half. And then all of a sudden they couldn't get a first down. That's a game the last few years they ultimately would have lost.
Yep.
And instead they end up winning the game. And that goes to talk about Harbaugh and the culture that they're turning around starting the season. So that's my top 6. Let's see what happens this week.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Also on the snow globe game, I love it from my warm couch.
Yes.
I would never ever want to play in that. And we were talking pre-show, like, listen, I love the pictures. It looks cool, but you get a worse product on the field. Players can't run hard because they're afraid they're going to slip and fall. The ball is literally getting lost in the snow. Like, there were a couple of throws where I'm like, I don't think Jameis Winston saw that player. I don't think he saw him because of the snow. It's like,
No.
uh-oh.
Absolutely not.
It's a worse product, but it's cool. It looks cool. So
Yeah, it's definitely cool. I said it before the show, is it gives bad teams an opportunity to compete with good teams. So it is a home field advantage if you're not the best team, because it makes it an even playing field no matter what, because it's just so hectic and weird. Field's all bad. But if you're an elite team, I don't think you want to be playing in that.
No.
If you cannot, obviously. That's why the dome talks all around the league. I'm glad the Bears are building a dome. That's all I'll say.
yes, absolutely. So those are week 12 power rankings going into this week. Obviously, the Thursday night game is already done.